What is up, guys? Back again with another Reddit Explains video. Today, we are going to be focusing on the Sesko to Manchester United rumors. They've been circulating a lot recently. Apparently, he is now denying going to Newcastle for the preference of going to Manchester United, which I actually really respect. I feel like we've kind of been missing in this era of football players that want to come to a team and revive them. It seems like him denying Newcastle, who is in the Champions League and has more money, more potential right now, to go to Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and try to bring them back to that pedigree, back to that pedestal of European football. I really, really respect it. But now I just don't know, is he the guy to do it? So first, we're focusing on this first comment. Honestly think Ollie Watkins would be better for them, someone who's proven to score in the Premier League now. Sesko seems more of a project striker. They already have Xerxes and Højlund. See, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well, where I understand Sesko is a little bit more exciting, a little bit more of a sexy signing where you don't know what he can do, and I think that's what a lot of fans love. He can either come in and score 30 goals or he can come in and score 5, but the thought of him being able to come in and dominate and score 20 plus goals in the Premier League is what gets fans excited. You know what you're getting with Ollie Watkins. With Ollie Watkins, you're getting a consistent performer who will score anywhere from 10 to 20 Premier League goals, but he'll never be that upper echelon of strikers like a Haaland that can come in and score 30, 50 goals in a season. So that is probably why I think Manchester United fans are more excited for Sesko. It's kind of the same thing with a Gyökeres to Arsenal. You don't know what he can do, and the thought of that is exciting. Gyökeres can come in and score 30 Premier League goals, or he can come in and score 10, but you don't know, and that makes you want to tune in. That's why I think a lot of fans that are Manchester United fans are pushing for a Sesko. But I think bringing in someone a little more steady in an Ollie Watkins, who you know will bag you 15 goals minimum in the Premier League. He's been performing really well the last 3 years. He already plays in the Prem. He's Premier League proven. I think that might be something a little more important in this moment. I don't think you have the privilege of signing a Sesko, and if he doesn't hit the ground running, it's just not the best. It's not the best atmosphere and just team at Manchester United right now, where everyone and the fans are going to be okay with you not performing instantly. They need you to perform. They need you to perform and bring Manchester United back to extremely high heights, bring you back to Europe. So I'm a little bit worried with that. I think Ollie Watkins would have been a safer purchase, and I think it's a cheaper purchase. And I think if you were able to buy Ollie Watkins for 40 million euro, and then upgrade that defensive midfield, that sixth position, so you don't have Casemiro in there or Ugarte, who wasn't playing really well last season, but he's actually been playing decently well in the preseason. But again, preseason, what can you really put into that? But I think Watkins would have been a safer purchase, and now you have guaranteed goals in Cunha and Mbeumo. Bringing 15 more guaranteed goals, maybe even 20, with Watkins, I think would really solve a lot of issues, versus spending 90 million on Sesko, and either he comes in and he scores 20 or 15 like he does in the Bundesliga, or he comes and he just kind of is a Højlund, where you had high hopes, and you purchased Højlund 2 years ago for 80 million euros, and you were hoping he'd come in and perform, and he doesn't, and now you're still having a hole at striker. I don't know if you want to do that again, but it seems like they're going that route. And I understand it for the fans. It's more exciting. A Sesko, you don't know what he's going to bring. But I think a little bit more of a consistent, cheaper signing could be the solution right now. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see. The weekly comparisons between him and Gyökeres are going to be fun. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. As someone who watches a lot of Arsenal, I'm an Arsenal fan. I thought Gyökeres was the better signing, especially for right now, because Arsenal are kind of in a position that Manchester United are, where the rest of the team is pretty solid. Manchester United just brought in 2 attacking midfielders that are good. Their defense wasn't the issue last season. Midfield's okay, but they needed better attacking players. They brought in those attacking midfielders in Cunha and Mbeumo. You kind of just need someone that can guarantee you 15, 20 goals at striker. And I feel like that's what Arsenal did with Gyökeres. I've been watching Gyökeres at Sporting. He's a great player. I think you can at least guarantee him for 15 goals. And I don't know if you get that with Sesko. So I was always on the side of Gyökeres getting someone proven. Everyone else in that team is really performing. They've been finishing second the last 3 years. So you want someone that will just bring you slightly over the top with guaranteed 15 goals, which is what I thought Manchester United would do with Ollie Watkins. But I don't know. I hope it's going to be something where you can compare them weekly, because that means they're both performing well. And I think when Manchester United are performing well and they're in the top 8 of the Premier League, that makes the league just more enjoyable to watch. It's not as enjoyable when a team like Manchester United is in 16th place and they're playing just as good as Wolves. You don't want them to be winning everything, but you want them to be competitive and at least fun to watch. They have one of the best stadiums in all the league. It's just something where the sport's better when Manchester United are at least doing decent. So moving on now, I see, as an Arsenal fan, I think Sesko has unbelievable potential, and I did prefer him to Gyökeres. Having said that, I am unsure if United is the place to realize that potential. I do think he is a United fan, though, so there is that. I think that is something that I touched upon a little earlier, where going to a team that you're a fan of and trying to bring them back to the heights that they were in the past is awesome, and I really applaud Sesko for doing that. But this part right here, where I'm unsure if United is the place to realize that potential, is kind of what I was saying earlier, is if Sesko comes in and he is not performing at a very high level instantly, if he's not bagging a goal every other game, and first 10 games, if he doesn't have 5 or 6 goals, I don't think that's the atmosphere right now for you to be able to drop no goals, no assists for 10 games straight, and everyone's okay with it, and everyone's actually encouraging you to keep playing hard. Right now, the coach is on the chopping block. The fans are upset. You just had one of the worst seasons ever. You need someone that's going to come in and hit the ground running. And although I think Sesko can do that, we have no idea if he will. He's never played in the Prem. He's a little raw. He's a little unproven. He's scoring 12 goals in the Bundesliga. It's not the best. He isn't always starting for his team. He's losing his starting spot sometimes to Openda. There's things like that where if he comes in, I don't think this is somewhere that he'll realize that potential if he doesn't hit the ground running instantly. He needs to score 6 goals in the first 10 games, or it's going to be a lot of fans and a lot of pressure on Ruben Amorim to change it. Xerxes up front, even maybe give Højlund another chance, maybe put Cunha up front and put Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes in behind him as the 2 attacking midfielders. So I do agree. I think he can do well. He does have unbelievable potential, but I don't know if United is the best place to realize that potential. Moving on next is, I've always felt that for United to rebuild properly, they have to do it the right way by getting young players and building gradually like Arsenal did, instead of going for experience / Prem proven. However, if there's one position that I believe Manchester United have to get an experienced player for, it's the 9. The pressure of that club is just too much for a young striker, in my opinion. I completely agree, and it's a bit like the last comment. It's the pressure at that club, if you're not coming in and instantly performing, especially as a striker, where it's a club that's had some of the best strikers in the entire world for years and years and years, it's going to be a lot of pressure, and a lot of players can't handle it. I also do agree with, you do want to try to rebuild gradually, kind of like Arsenal did, but I think you kind of need a mix of young players and Prem proven. I think what they did in this window, getting Prem proven Cunha and Mbeumo, is really, really smart. You don't want to be signing 60 million euro players from the French league and hoping they can come and produce the same in the Prem. I think getting players, a mixture of young players that will gradually come into the squad, like Ahmad and Garnacho and Aiden Heaven, all those players, and also bringing in a good mixture of players that are Prem proven from other squads, from other teams like Brentford, like Wolves. That is what Manchester United are built on. They're built on buying Prem proven players from lower tier teams and bringing them to Manchester United and bringing them to that newer height. So I think what they did this summer is actually really refreshing. Instead of going to other countries and signing their players like Bundesliga, like De Ligt and Mazraoui, etc., like the last couple transfer windows, going and getting Xerxes and going and getting Højlund from Syria. I think it's smart going and getting these Prem proven players this offseason, which they did in the summer transfer window. And moving on next is, should United really be looking to spend money on young guys who can potentially be great in a couple of years? I kind of agree. I think Ruben Amorim, he is on the chopping block. He needs to perform in the first. I don't even know. I'll give him the first 3 months, or he will get fired. So, are you willing to put all your eggs in a basket of someone who's younger than 24? I think Sesko's like 22, and hoping he can come to a new league, one of the most difficult leagues, and instantly perform. I think you're putting a lot of pressure, and you're putting your entire job on the line for a player like that. Hey, listen, Ruben Amorim, when he was at Sporting, he won everything, and he turned that squad around. He sold everybody that wasn't part of his vision, and Sporting became the best team in Portugal. I don't know. I respect his vision and I respect what he does. I don't know if Sesko is the overall solution, but hey, if Ruben Amorim thinks it, I'd be more inclined to listen to somebody like that. And moving on, another, in my opinion, I think Watkins would be a better fit than Sesko. I agree. I think it's a smart signing. I think it's a safer signing with Ollie Watkins than a Sesko, and that's just the reality. Is I think you kind of, with Manchester United finishing in 16th place, you kind of want players that are more prem proven and safe than potential, and maybe they'll be the next best player in the world, but you don't know. You kind of want more of this safety floor instead of looking for players with super high ceilings. Arsenal fans saying flop. If he was smart, he would go to Newcastle. I agree that it would probably be an easier route going to Newcastle. The fans are just as demanding, but I think they give a little bit more leeway for their strikers. Alexander Isak got a lot of leeway in the beginning. I think, you become a cult hero if you go there and perform. They're in the Champions League. But there's something about a player going to a team that's struggling, that used to be at the top, and telling himself and telling the fans, hey, I'll bring you back to the top, and this is what I'm here for. I don't want the easy route. I want to come and instantly perform for this club and bring you back to those levels that you have seen before. And then I'll finish up with this comment. Is I think the most other fans are confused about United are yet to address the two most glaring issues with the squad. If they get Sesko, they will have spent nearly 200 mil on forwards, but they still have Onana in goal and 90-year-old Casemiro in the middle if Manu or Agate pick up an injury. United are in trouble in midfield. I touched upon this a little earlier. I think if it's Sesko and no more signings, or Ollie Watkins and you get to sign somebody for 40-50 million euro in midfield, I would probably go with the Ollie Watkins, guaranteed 15 goals and a more secure midfield. But if it's not like that, if you can sign Sesko and even still bring in a midfielder, I understand wanting to bring in a Sesko. And hey, spending nearly 200 million on forwards, that's what wins you games. You need something. You need players to come in and score. Last season, Manchester United's defense wasn't the glaring issue. It was their lack of goals. I think they were in the bottom 5 of goals scored in the Prem. So they need goal scorers. And I think Onana, the Onana issue is a little bit overpushed. If you could get somebody better like Donnarumma, of course you take it. But like this guy says right here, Onana isn't the best keeper, but he isn't as bad as people make him to be. I don't think he's the worst in the world. I think he does cost you 2 or 3 games a season, which you don't want. You actually want your goalkeeper winning you a game or 2 a season. But again, I don't think Manchester United are coming in to challenge for top 4 or even win the Prem. They're kind of looking for a top 7 finish. So I think Onana in this current moment in time isn't the end of the world if you keep him one more year. I know he's more of a Ten Hag signing, better on the ball. Ten Hag's big thing was, we're going to play out from the back. Ruben Amorim kind of is like that, but he's not as inclusive with his goalkeeper in it. So he could bring in a Donnarumma who isn't the best on the ball, but decent enough and a really good shot stopper. But that's not the issue right now. I agree. If they can get Ollie Watkins and a midfielder, I'd prefer it. But Sesko, and if you're still able to get a midfielder, why not? Why not reach for new heights? And in 2 seasons from now, when you have Sesko with a season under his belt, you have Cunha and Mbeumo playing in that attacking midfield with a season under their belt at Manchester United. You still have Bruno Fernandes. When you have all these players with a season, Manchester United could be really, really dangerous in 2 seasons from now. So let me know what you guys think about the Sesko signing. Do you think they should go for Ollie Watkins instead of Sesko? I preferably think Sesko is more exciting, but I think Ollie Watkins would have been more of a safety net, more of a safe signing that would guarantee you a little bit more instant success, but not the heights that Manchester United should be looking for, which is obviously winning the Premier League. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you.